Hey guys, Trade Peer Boat Captain RJ here, bringing you a Townstar update. We're going to be looking at the latest competition, which is the Jack-O-Lanterns meta. We're going to be checking out how our account is doing. We're going to be looking at our build, but I've also got a little bit of sad news for you as well. So let's get into it straight away. So the Jack-O-Lanterns, obviously, meta, it was actually a pretty easy build. For those of you that caught my live stream, I did sort of alter my build somewhat, but we'll have a look at that in a second. So how are we getting on to start with? If we click on the leaderboard, you can see here, I have just restarted this actually. The reason that I restarted it is because I got an airdrop of an NFT from Gala Games. It was for the Maze 4 NFT. Basically, I got that because, as we know, Gala have been doing a thing that if you play for 10 days or more in the monthly servers, you get a free NFT. But what this one is, this is a special airdrop, is for people that played in the monthly servers but did over 66 trades in the first 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever it was of October. I did that and I got the free airdrop of the Maze 4 NFT, and the Maze 4 NFT gave you one passive nectar, so that's why I sort of logged out and logged back in to see if that was actually available in the game. Unfortunately it wasn't, but that's why I basically did a reset, was because I was trying to get that for the last 4 hours, as we only have 4 hours left. If I could have got that NFT into my build, I might have done actually even better than we're already doing. So anyway, if we look at the leaderboard, so we are in 476th place, which is actually, you can't see it because my head's in the way. So there you go. So we are in 476th place with 100 million, over 100 million star points. And basically, if we go back to the build, you can see here, although like I say, I've done a reset, so it's not quite settled down. It's showing that we're getting 111 or over 111 per hour. When that's settled down, it's actually around about 109 per hour from this build. So that's been absolutely brilliant. And what do we get for placing in where we are? If we click on the, if I can get me thing, here we go. Here is the rewards structure. So if you're in the top 1,000, you know, you're going to get 150 Gala as long as you're in that 1,000 to 751 position. But if we scroll up, we are around about here. So that is 300 Gala going on our current position. But as always, there is generally quite a few cheaters or abusers of the system which get removed. So if enough get removed and we can get into this 450, 351 range, we're actually going to be getting about 375 Gala. And obviously, if they remove even more, in past recent competitions, they've been removing anything up to 150 cheaters. If that is the case, we could slip into this territory of 251 to 350 and actually come away with 450 Gala. Obviously, you know, cross fingers, that happens. It would be very nice to receive that amount of Gala from one game. But obviously there's no guarantees. And at the end of the day, like I've said in the past, it's not a good strategy just to sort of say, well, you know, I'll get in that position knowing that they're going to remove X amount of cheaters, therefore I'll get bumped up. No, you should always be aiming as high as possible, which I'm sure the majority of you do. And then obviously if we get bumped up due to the removal of cheaters, then it's all a bonus, and it's a very nice bonus as well. So if we look at our build, we'll scroll out. So this is actually an adaptation of a build I got from Ben Crypto. Now, why did I not stick with my build that I was using in the live stream? Simply because it just wasn't optimal enough. I did add, obviously I added in more fabric plants, I added in more pottery, and it got us to a point. It's got us to about 80 plus an hour, but you know, that was really gonna sort of hold me around about that 1,750, possibly a little higher. But to really sort of get to where we are, I needed to make a big change. So Ben Crypto Gaming, for those of you that don't know, he does a great stream on Townstar. It's very technical. He really goes into sort of the technical side of planning your builds. But he's brilliant. He's very good. His streams are usually over about 3 hours. But they are really good. And like I say, he really goes into the technical side of planning a build. So if that's something that sort of like is along your you know, sort of what you're looking for in the way of a live stream and information from Townstar, go and check out Ben Crypto Gaming. I think he does a really good stream, and you know, I check him out regularly just to sort of see what he's doing. You can see that basically you'll find with Ben's builds that he does put a few NFTs in there. And as you can see, I've had to put a few NFTs in my builds, and that because the NFTs that Ben has, I don't have. So I had to adapt his build to suit sort of what you know, the resources I have available. And because of that, we ended up with some of our beehives being hampered by pollution. So I got a couple of these of the 888 orbs that get rid of pollution, like you know, the usual pollution. It doesn't get rid of shade, but it does get rid of pollution. So I threw them in there, and that basically combated the problem I was having with my fuel depot being here. But it was sort of the best place to put my fuel depot. But like I said, because I had those orbs, you know, I was able to get round that problem. A couple of my, I think at least one is still being hampered by pollution, one of my beehives. But, you know, I've ended up putting a few extra at the top here, which sort of, you know, compensated for the one or two that are being hampered by pollution. So you can see here, so I ended up with only, I think 10. I started off with about 14, or I think it was about 14 pumpkins. I got rid of quite a few, basically because I was overproducing quite a lot. And once I got to about $84 million, I thought I don't need any extra cash for wages. So I got that right. I've basically removed 4. We're still overproducing, which I am selling off. You can see that my cash is at 142 million. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely no need for it whatsoever. But I do always like making sure that my workers are never ever waiting around for anything. So that's why a little overproduction, personally, I feel is okay. We got plenty of wax, plenty of cotton. The only thing that we sort of are running a short of, obviously we've got cotton, but the cotton yarn, we've ended up with, what have we got? I think I've got, 2, 5, 7, 10, 11 fabric plants. I probably could have done with maybe a couple more to really sort of push my build further. But if I did that, I would have been losing loggers because I had no, I mean, basically these are loggers, and then I had some loggers here which I then had to replace with fabric plants, and that's why you can see dotted around lumberjacks, because it was late in the game. So to start making these lumberjacks into loggers was just going to slow things down, slow production down and stuff like that. So I just left them as lumberjacks. You can see we've got 5 up there, and then we've got 1 here, and then we've got some loggers and that there. So basically that just basically comes from you know, slightly underestimating what I needed in the build. Because like I say, it is an adaptation from Ben's. But if it wasn't for his ideas, I wouldn't be at the position I am now. So like I say, I'm not moaning about, you know, his build or, you know, the having a changeover. It's just, I couldn't, you know, basically it was a toss-up between getting the extra loggers or and slowing my production down, or keeping my production high and myself still moving up the leaderboard. And leaving it as lumberjacks, and that's why I decided to leave it as lumberjacks, because while I was moving up, I just thought it's just it's the you know, it's the best way to go. You know, it's like I've found, and I've mentioned this in other videos, you can get to a point in the game where making drastic changes, all that's going to do is actually move you down the leaderboard, because you've got to, yes, you kind of think, okay, that's gonna make a massive positive impact on my build, but what a lot of people don't think about is the time it is going to take you to change that build, for starters, and then also the time it takes from the finished changes to when you make that first sale. That makes a massive difference. In that time, you could have dropped down, you know, anything up to 200, 300, 500 places, and then you've got to make all that back up before you really start seeing the benefit of the improvements you've made. So like I say, that's what I was thinking about, is like, is it worth trying to get them as loggers? But I know what, if I do, I'm going to start losing places, or leave them as lumberjacks as I'm still moving up. And as I was still moving up, that was for me a no-brainer, because of suffering that in the past and realizing where I'd made that mistake. And I don't like to make mistakes over again and again. No one does, and I learned from that mistake, so that's why I just stuck with that. Okay, so let's have a quick look, see if we've moved up anything else. No, we're still at 476. The only reason is basically I was at 474 until I basically reset, went back into Gala, found that I had that airdrop and messed around with all that. It was actually 474, so hopefully we might get back up to 474. It's only 2 places. You can see the FPS is absolutely massively low at the moment, and that's basically because I am doing this stream, or not stream, but video. But once I finish the video, that is actually up at about 48 to 50. I don't know if something has changed, but the FPS seems to be much better in the game for me in this competition. I don't know what it's like for you guys out there, but for me in the game, when I'm not creating a video, the FPS is actually dramatically better than it has been in the last 2 competitions. So anyway, that's all said and done. What is the bad news? Because I didn't want to give you bad news at the beginning of the video, so I thought I'd wait till the end, give you all the bad news at the end. So the bad news is, or the disappointing news, I guess, for some of you, would be that I am no longer going to be doing Townstar content. I know that's going to be disappointing for a lot of you. Maybe not for some of you, but I know it will be for a lot of you. But the reason being is basically the way that Townstar now sort of give out the information and the way that things have changed with the metas. I personally feel that I can't produce good enough content regularly, so therefore I feel my videos are actually letting you guys down. And I know, and the last thing I want you guys to be doing is wasting your time coming to watch my videos when I don't have the full information. And the reason for this is 2 things: is that the metas are pretty much changing all the time. In the past, now and again, we would have repeat metas, like, so, you know, like back in the day when we had uniforms and we had blue steel and we had, you know, baguettes regularly and stuff like that. And the great thing was, and the thing is about my channel, and most creators' channel, is my channel is about helping people. And I just want to give you guys the information so you know exactly what you're doing when it comes to the competitions, and therefore you've got that little bit of a head start and you know what you're doing, and that is where the help comes. And that's what I used to love doing. And I used to love, doing all the how-to videos, which obviously I still have. There is a big playlist of how-to videos. So if you're new to Townstar, you want to know where to start on, understanding how the game works, how to do certain things in the different environments. What I'll do is I'll put that link in the description for you to my how-to tutorial playlist. And if you go right the way through to the end of the video, that playlist will be there as well. But like I say, the other thing is now Gala are releasing the information about the metas later and later and later, which I totally understand because they're trying to make it more and more of a challenge. But basically, they are releasing it sort of at a nice time for players in America. Well, I'm in the UK, and in my last live stream, basically what I did, which was a lead into this competition, I basically had all the information that everybody else had, but there was a lot of information that was actually missing, like things like the products that they had nerfed, products that they had boosted, and stuff like that. So it was very difficult to give you guys a full picture in that live stream as to what really was going to happen in the competition. And then that information was not released until about, I think it was about 11 p.m. London UK time. Well, I'm not going to start doing a live stream at 11 p.m. at London UK time. And I'm also not going to start doing a how to build at that time of night to then have it ready for the day of the competition to release, to say, okay, this is what you need to be doing. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. But there are some really great channels that are doing it. And basically 3 I would say for you to go and check out. 1 I've already mentioned, which is Ben Crypto Gaming. 2 would be Lycan Warlord. And 3 would be Dubstep Rob's channel. Now they are not in any preference. I've just spouted them out. I will put a link to all of those in the description. But I'll tell you basically what they're going to consist of. Lycan Warlord will consist of sort of build information, but also he does a lot of background information. So he'll give you a lot of the news and what's going on with Gala. Dubstep Rob, really great. He does builds, but most of his builds he does are for non-NFT users. So if you don't have any NFTs whatsoever, go and check out Dubstep Rob's builds, because they are usually targeted towards people with no NFTs. He also does background information and news on what's going on with Gala as well. And then there's Ben Crypto Gaming. Like I said, really good streams, looking more at the technical side of how to set up your build. He does incorporate a few NFTs into his build, but still great ideas. Like I've said, I've actually used the ideas of one of his builds, or the build that he did for this meta. I've taken some ideas and I've got a very good build. So like I say, those are 3 really good channels, and personally they are doing a much better job than I am doing with Townstar content. So that is why I am no longer going to be doing Townstar content. I'm very sorry that I will not be doing this content anymore. Obviously I will be doing all my other usual content to do with the, all the different programs I use. Also as well, for those of you that have stuck around, thank you very much. And if you are a follower of mine because of Townstar, maybe go and check out some of my other programs, because they will cost you less in time, they will cost you less in money, but they will actually earn you more crypto. So if you are using Townstar purely to earn cryptocurrency and nothing else, then go and check out my channel, playlists, go and look at some of the other programs I use, and you might well find that they actually suit you better, because you're spending less time on your computer, you're having to have your computer running for less time, but at the same time you are actually going to earn yourself more crypto. Now, I'm not trying to tell people not to play Townstar, because I will still be playing Townstar. I will still be playing Townstar, doing the competitions, and if you want to come and hang out in our Discord, link in the description, during the competitions, drop into the Townstar chat, especially on the first day and the last day. I will be in there quite a lot. I will be in there on and off throughout the rest of the competition time. So if you want any advice, if you want to show me your build, if you want me to give you some ideas on how to improve your build, if there's some hints and tips that I might be able to help you with, just drop them in the Townstar chat in our Discord. I will, like I say, I will continue to play. It's just that I won't continue to make content anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there. If you can give me a thumbs up, it really does support my channel, which then helps me make more content to help you. So take care, have a great rest of your week, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.